Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're heading, virtually speaking, to Sri Lanka. Specifically, we're looking at the Knuckles mountain range. We've got this tour description for an all-inclusive Knuckles day trek starting from Kandy.
Right, and it paints quite a picture, doesn't it?
It really does. Talks about, amazing nature, adventure, even meeting locals, great photos.
The whole package, seemingly.
Yeah, exactly. So our plan is to kind of unpack that, see what this day trek actually offers, based on what they're promising here.
Sounds good. The name itself, Knuckles. It does sound kind of rugged.
It does, and the description leans into that. Spectacular natural scenery, breathtaking valleys, lush forests, majestic mountain vistas.
They're not holding back on the adjectives. It sets a high bar for what you expect to see.
Totally. But it's not just about looking pretty, apparently. They highlight the astounding biodiversity.
Yeah, I saw that. Home to rare animal and plant species requiring protection.
As well as beautiful vegetation features. They call it an ecological treasure. Makes you wonder what's so special about this place.
Well, yeah, the Knuckles Range, it's often flagged as a biodiversity hotspot. It's got this unique geology and different little microclimates all packed together.
Ah, okay.
Which means you get a lot of endemic species, plants, animals that evolved right there and exist nowhere else, like a little natural laboratory.
That's a great way to put it, a natural laboratory. And I guess that ties into the adventure side too?
Seems like it.
The tour mentions a thrilling sense of discovery, just like walking on new terrain.
And conquering high-altitude mountains. So it hints at a bit of a physical challenge.
Yeah, maybe not just a casual stroll.
Probably not. And the trek itself, the route they describe, sounds designed to show off that variety. We talk about moving through, let's see, cloud forests, tea plants, and the pygmy forest.
Pygmy forest, what's that exactly?
It usually means high-altitude forest where the conditions are tough wind, maybe poor soil, so the trees and shrubs are kind of stunted, smaller. Creates a really unique, almost miniature landscape.
Oh, interesting. So you're seeing different zones as you climb.
Exactly. Different ecological zones, and then ending up on grassland plateaus near the peak. That's quite a journey in one day.
Definitely. And they throw in this little note. Keep an eye out for unusual wildlife, birds, and marine life in clear lakes.
Marine life? That bit caught my eye too, at high altitude.
Yeah, seems odd, right?
It does. I mean, it's almost certainly not marine like the ocean. Maybe they mean unique freshwater species, like invertebrates or fish adapted to those high-altitude lakes.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Or it could just be, a local way of describing something specific they see in the water there. Hard to know without being there.
True. Okay, so beyond the nature and the physical trek, there's this unique cultural component.
Right, meeting locals.
Yeah. And they frame it as offering invaluable opportunities for exploration throughout Asia, which is a bit grand maybe, but the core idea is connecting with people.
And that can be really valuable. These communities living in such a specific environment, they often have this incredibly deep knowledge of the area, right?
Sure. Pass down knowledge.
Exactly. Traditional ecological knowledge. Stuff you just wouldn't get from reading a sign or a book. It adds like a whole human dimension to the landscape you're walking through.
Good point. And for people who like taking photos.
Oh yeah, they push that ankle.
Big time. A photographic tour. Breathtaking sites that attract photographers of all kinds.
Sounds like you should pack extra memory cards.
Right. Opportunities for taking breathtaking images along trails or from summit vantages.
Although, there's a but.
Well, a small caveat. They mention snowfall season might make photography difficult at the very top.
Mountain weather. Always a factor.
Yeah, but they do say other spots along the route provide many photo ops, so it's not like you'll come away with nothing if the summit's socked in.
That's good. Plenty to shoot on the way up through those different forests and plateaus we talked about.
Okay, let's get practical. Logistics. It's an all-inclusive Knuckles day trek from Kandy. What does that actually mean on the ground?
Well, the day starts early. Complimentary pickup at 7:30 a.m. from where you're staying in Kandy.
Okay, that's convenient.
Then the trek itself kicks off around 9:30 a.m. And it's a proper day out, full day, 8+ hours.
8 hours plus. Okay, good to know. And all-inclusive covers.
It covers the picnic lunch, always good on a hike, admission tickets if needed, the English-speaking guide, which we'll come back to, and a helper.
A helper? What does that typically mean?
Could be someone to assist the main guide, maybe help with carrying some gear, or provide extra support for the group. especially if it's varied terrain.
Gotcha. But crucially, what's not included in that initial price?
Right, the fine print.
Yeah.
So getting to Kandy in the first place isn't included. Obvious, maybe, but worth stating. And then, the transport from Kandy to the trek's start point and back, that's extra. They quote $15 per person for that round trip, if you need it.
Okay, so the complimentary pickup is from your hotel to the vehicle that then takes you to the start, possibly for that extra fee.
That seems to be how it reads, yeah. Also excluded. Personal expenses, anything unlisted like extra drinks or souvenirs you might buy.
Standard stuff.
Yeah. Travel insurance, always recommended but not included. Any extra activities you might want to do. And transport to your Kandy accommodation before the tour starts or after it ends.
Right, so all-inclusive covers the core trekking day itself, but you need to factor in that Kandy transport and your personal bits and pieces.
Exactly. That $15 transport fee seems pretty typical for day trips like this, but it's good to know it's separate.
Definitely. Now, back to one of the key inclusions, the English-speaking guide. They really emphasize this person.
A knowledgeable guide.
Who shares insights into history, flora, fauna, and cultural aspects, providing past and present day context. That sounds like it could really make the trip.
Oh, absolutely. A good guide is often the difference between just, a nice walk with good views and a genuinely enriching experience.
Right.
They can spot things you'd miss, explain the why behind what you're seeing, the ecology, the history, how people live there now. It adds so much depth.
Yeah, I can see that. So wrapping it up a bit, they pitched this whole thing as an ideal balance between nature and adventure.
Especially for people who might be limited in terms of both time and energy.
Right. It's a way to get a real taste of the Knuckles Range without committing to, a multi-day expedition.
Exactly. And offering that transport option from Kandy, even at extra cost, makes it feel quite seamless, as they put it. You get picked up, you do the trek, you get dropped back.
Right.
Relatively straightforward for the traveler.
So it sounds like a potentially really rewarding day, doesn't it? You get that amazing scenery, the unique plants, and maybe animals.
The physical challenge of the trek through different zones.
A chance for some cultural interaction, loads of photo opportunities.
All wrapped up in a guided, mostly inclusive package that fits into a single day.
Pretty compelling offering, especially if you're based in Kandy for a bit.
Yeah, it ticks a lot of boxes for a day trip into the mountains.
So here's something to think about then. If you spend a day immersed in this place, this mix of, unique ecosystems and local culture, all quite accessible, what kind of perspective might that give you? What lingers after the hike is done and you've looked at the photos? What's the lasting impression?